Let's start again with OpenBridge Designer. Now we're going to explain what a workspace is. So let's create a new group. And on that new group, right, I'm going to create a new file. I'm getting in. Software is loading. And I'm presented with this option. Now, this is by default that comes with the software, examples and configuration. So you see imperial units, food or survey food as we use in the US, metric standards uh, as a workspace. Then, what's a workspace? A workspace basically is a collection of all your standards, all your CAD standards, all your BIM standards, all the libraries that you're going to use, all the cells that are going to use, sheet borders, so all that information regarding the libraries that you're going to use, templates, beam types in the case of bridge, different decks, different piers, all that information, it's all inside a workspace in different files, in different folders, but all inside a workspace. So OpenBridge provides an examples a configuration workspace. However, many DOTs customize them depending on what they use. For example, not every DOT uses the same sheet border for their plans. Not every DOT has the same beam types uh, that you use, right? I mean, we use ASHTO beams, but certain DOTs like Florida, Texas, even New York, they have their own beams, right? With different variations, but it's their own. So how you customize that? So of course, they don't customize the examples and configuration workspace because that comes with the software. And every time you install a new version, it may overwrite what you have already set up. So they create a new one. And in this case, it's that the New York State DOT 2024 workspace. This is provided by the different organizations, right? Like DOTs. So there are many workspaces created and customized, created by their own users, created with the help of Bentley, or created exclusively with Bentley people, and we just deliver to the DOT to be published, right? So that's what a workspace is. So for our class, we just need to select the workspace, right? And then what project, right? That you have or you may have a certain way to organize your projects in different folders, in a different drive, in a precise location. So that is what is called a work set, basically your project. So you can create a new work set based on the standard that is provided to you. So New York State DOT work set. You can create a new work set, left click, and use the one that you have as a template. So it will organize in a certain location, could be your hard drive, could be your project wise site, and create a new project location with the proper folders in where to put all the different DGN files and general documentation of the project, right? So this could be done. And as you can see, as you create a new work set and you put in a name, right? My project, for example, right? So basically, this template that we are using, it will create folders at a specific location. What is the root folder, where the DGN files will be saved, and so on and so forth. This is if you create a project in your local drive. Usually, of course, we don't do that. This should be into the server, right? So in general, when you're working on a server environment, this work set is not created by the user, it's created by the project administrator. And then you will be able to select all the different work sets, as known as projects, where you start your files. Okay, but again, the most important one is the workspace. Now, what the workspace does, as I said, it defines all your standards. For example, I will create a new file, right? This new file, uh, that's how we create files in OpenBridge. In general, in the MicroStation platform, we don't copy files or rename files. We just create brand new files from a specific source. In OpenBridge Modeler, our files are 3D files. In other applications like OpenRoads, there are 2D files that later have 3D information there. But in OpenBridge, by default, we create 3D files from the very beginning. Now, these files are created from left click, new file, and they are created from a specific source that we call the seed file. So the seed file is not just a drafting file, a DGN file, that's the platform, but it has information there, how the units are interpreted. So it's, for example, feet and inches, or just decimal feet, uh, how you read the angles by azimuth or angles, degrees, minutes, and seconds, or you just go decimal. So all in general, all that configuration of the file, level symbology, we study different levels, right? So all of that, it's, let's call it store or set up into what we call a seed file. So where you grab the seed file, the workspace is set up in such a way that you don't need to know that because it's already set up. That is the seed file that you need to use to create open bridge files, right? So let's create again one file. Let's call it test02, right? So it's going to create a brand new file, right, from the seed file that it was provided in the workspace that is located, of course, in a certain location. Usually that workspace is located in your project-wise drive in your server, so you don't need to worry about which one to select, right? In my case, as I'm working in a local computer, right, this file, just to give you an idea what a workspace looks like, right? This is on the C drive uh, under New York configuration, and this is the workspace, right? All these folders become the workspace. So, for example, all the setup, the level symbology, the libraries, all the materials that we need for our bridge projects and roadway projects is all here. So, for example, in Seed, that's the one that we use to create this file that I just opened. And then you don't need to know where it's located because the workspace will take care of that. Another example, what are the beam templates, the peer templates that we're going to use? Oh, they are all here in different DGN libraries, in which we store all these features. All the libraries are here. So all of that information is here, right? So this is part of the workspace definition. So it will take care that workspace, it's defining how we want to work. As I showed you before, all these levels that are coming because they are all defined in a workspace. All the templates that you have are all defined in a workspace. The libraries that OpenBridge Modeler will use are all defined in that workspace. And you sometimes, even the configuration of the ribbons, how this is treated, it's all configured in the workspace. For example, here you got a new workflow called New York State DOT workflow. And that got installed because I'm using the New York workspace. So on that, what they have included is how to place some sheets, how to do some certain annotations. So they are using MicroStation commands, but then being customized too, fully automatic, right? So drawing, basically the same, but here as being different, this drawing tab with these commands what they have done, if they have customized that ribbon and make it a little bit different with the most used commands to produce bridge plans, maybe, right? So it's as simple as this could be, right? You could just generate elements like that. For example, you want to place a north arrow. What is the cell name that I need to use? What file do I need to place? Where is that located? So we can do that manually, right? Using microstation commands, but then all of this is already done. As part of the workspace, since they use this a lot, I just go to the DOT workflow, north arrow, and I have my cell. That's the one you use, right? If I need a specific sheet border, so place a plan sheet or a cover sheet, for example, right? So, oh, that's the cover sheet for New York. I could assemble this by hand, of course, but it's easier. It's part of the workspace. I'm ready to go. Right? Different borders, title blocks. So all these part of the workspace. And also what they have added to is access to external applications. Now we don't have installed, but in a working environment, you will be able to access these applications that they should have installed for you. Right? So this is what the workspace will do. Every configuration of how you're going to work with the software and extra applications that you may need to add. So all of that could be customized by the administrator, the DoD in general, and provides that workspace in our website. So external users can download it and use the same environment, the same standards that a specific DoD will use.